I'm John Riggs. I'm speaking for the Truth and Reconciliation Party of South Africa, of which I'm a co-founder, and which is, at this point, an extra-parliamentary political movement and organization. I'm speaking on the matter of the two gentlemen who are still imprisoned, namely Clive Derby-Lewis and Johannes Walos. And I'm going to appeal to President Jacob Zuma, and I'm going to appeal to Mrs. Hani, the wife of the deceased Chris Hani. I have in front of me, I'll just bring it a bit closer, this document. That is the Truth and Reconciliation Commission information booklet. It was published by the Justice in Transition group on behalf of the Ministry of Justice. And the back page, or the back cover, states the overall objectives, which I will type out and print over the screen for you to read. The facts are, Mrs. Hani, your own daughter has evolved, and while it may appear to be in the African National Congress's political agenda and cheap vote buying attempts, we request and make a honest request to your humanity. Yes, we acknowledge that your husband was murdered, as I'm speaking perhaps on behalf of some folks in South Africa. But as a philosophical type of a person, I wish to say that I do not believe that you will find peace by not forgiving this man, these two gentlemen, Clive Derby-Lewis and Johannes Walos. I believe these men should be free. I believe that justice in South Africa should apply to all people. And I believe that the double standards that the ANC applies are incorrect and inappropriate, and in fact probably will lead to the demise of the ANC. I know the role that Chris Hani must have played in your life as a husband, a father to your children, and a lover. But the intimate details of your life, I concur, I know nothing of. But if I look at the purpose of truth and reconciliation, many people on both sides of the political spectrum, from the extreme right-wing white population to the extreme left-wing Marxist, communist, black population, generally spoken, generally termed as, people have made sacrifices. Still, there are people making sacrifices. Andries Tatane, looking after an elderly man that was protesting in Mekuleng, a township of Vicksburg, or in the vicinity of Vicksburg, is a stunning example of a new form of oppression, and unfortunately for him, he's met his demise. He's dead as a result of similar things that could have occurred at the time that Hector Peterson was killed. And I appeal to you as a human being, not as a white politician or a person that's in his own parliament, outside of parliament, as a human to another human. The petitioning will go on for the freeing of Clive Derby Lewis and Jonas Walos. And consequently, the reviews of who should be pardoned and paroled, etc., will also go on. We have learned to believe that you are consulted as an aggrieved party, whether or not you agree to people being pardoned. I think this is a misappropriation of justice, that you would have the final word. Certainly you should be considered, what you have to say should be considered. But I think that perhaps you will not find peace, nor will you be doing justice by not freeing these men. Nelson Mandela was freed. Walter Sisulu has perished already. Which brings me to another fact. This book, Gukurahundi in Zimbabwe, the introduction by Eleanor Sisulu, the foreword by Archbishop Pius Nube. This is a report on the disturbances in Matabeleland and the Midlands in 1980 to 1999. It has on its cover a picture of the warmonger and the criminal. This book, incidentally, is published by Jacana Press, and it is copyright to the Catholic Commission for Justice and Peace in Zimbabwe in 1997 and 2007. I will speak a lot about this in the future. Mrs. Hani, we all need to evolve. Jacob Zuma is doing a sterling job at this time of keeping South Africa on the rails to a certain extent. Julius Malema is being tried for hate speech, because there is a subtle difference between hate speech and freedom of speech, which countless hundreds of thousands of people in South Africa believe Julius Malema has overstepped his mark and over-exceeded his abilities to play the game properly. I'm asking you, sit down carefully, think about this, and when you come to your senses, if I may say so, when you are asked again what your opinion is, should Clive Derby Lewis and Jonas Walos be pardoned, please say yes. Thank you.